Hello, this is part 2 of my Fantasista checkout. The plane is now complete. It is running a Scorpion S40-2510 with a 15x10 blade, APC blade. I'm using 5S5000 25C batteries and HS225BB servos all around, and I've had a few flights with it now, and it is a really very nice plane to fly, and I still have to do all the trimming runs, and we'll see how we go with that. Now for some more details on the Fantasista. Number one, I did not use the supplied wheels. I provided rather larger wheels, 3-inch aluminium hubbed wheels to handle a grass runway and no spats. I've added a arming switch on the left there and an anti-spark button on the right. If we look inside the plane, you can see how they're arranged inside there. One of the leads from the YEP controller, which is a 100 amp YEP controller, goes through the arming switch, and it has a shorting button with some resistors on it there, and that allows you to use 5S without any sparking and oxidizing and pitting of your connectors. Right, the next thing that I must point out here is the fixing of all components into the plane. For example, the motor mount there must be fixed with epoxy, definitely not epoxy, should be glass fiber matting and resin. I did 2 coats, 2 lots of matting to hold that all in, and all the other components, that block, the battery restraint, there's some extra weights in there, 75 grams of extra weight to get the CG correct. And those are the major changes I made to this plane. I did have one problem with the elevons at the rear. The root of the elevons were not parallel to the side of the fuselage, so I had to put in a shimming piece, a tapered shimming piece, to make up the difference, but it all works out very well now. And in terms of other details, I think that's all for the moment. So, a few more details here. The air inlet holes were marked onto some masking tape, then peeled off the non-stick paper and stuck onto the nose of the cowl here, and then carefully cut out. Take your time, make a nice job of it. It looks better when it's done nice and carefully. Matching those holes or the exit holes, which were not nominated in the manual at all, but I thought that was a fairly good place to put them, just on a change of direction of the underside of the fuselage. Just to reiterate, these wheels, they are 3-inch aluminium hubbed wheels. Now onto the control systems. Have a look here at this aileron servo. It has an outstand at the servo of about 15 millimeters, and the distance from the connection at the horn to the hinge is about 30 millimeters, so it's about a 2-to-1 ratio there, or maybe a little bit better. Moving to the rear, the elevon advantage for the servo is considerably greater. It's more than 3 times there, and there's still plenty of movement to operate the elevons effectively. very important that you give the servos a good deal of mechanical advantage. Also, with pattern planes, I make a habit of using plastic geared servos because they don't generate or develop slop after a while, and are, you know, just remain tight, and they don't have to be that strong because you're not pushing the control surfaces that far. Anyway, just some more views of this plane. Tail end moving through to the front. This is a very nicely made plane.